I'm Kindra and I'm telling you why you should use Randovania for Metroid Dread and why the Door Lock Randomizer makes it a better game. When Metroid Dread released on October 8th, 2021, one of the biggest hopes for me was that there, at some point, would be a randomizer for the game. I never anticipated that only after a few months after release I would already play it. The Randovania dev team is killing it with all the supported games, ranging from Cave Story to the whole Prime trilogy to Super Metroid and all the way to Metroid Dread, with Samus Returns being the latest edition. They are releasing several new dev builds each day. Much love to this community. Their latest edition is the Door Lock Randomizer. The Door Lock Rando swaps door locks around, meaning that a normal beam door can become a plasma beam door or any other type of door. The randomizer changes approximately 60% of the door locks that are in the game. Almost every type of door can be changed into either power beam door, missile door, white beam door, wave beam door, plasma beam door, charge beam door, grapple beam door or super missile door. Just imagine the amount of different combinations here. Considering the amount of options and the fact that Door Lock Randomizer is just one feature on top, there are almost countless outcomes. But why is it so special for Metroid Dread? It not only changes when you can go where, the flow of the game or how you traverse CDR, it also fixes one of the biggest issues the randomizer or rather the game itself has. Many item rooms of this game can only be exited with the item you would get inside that room. The only way to leave the grapple beam item room is to actually use the grapple beam. The randomizer could now create the possibility that you enter the grapple beam item room without having grapple beam and shuffling the vanilla item to a missile, meaning you would softlock the game. The Door Lock Rando now creates many different possibilities to change these rooms into rooms that you can enter and exit freely by changing the doors. This does not mean that Metroid Dread is free of softlocks and what I call softlocked areas now, but it helps to reduce them and makes item checks in those rooms less tedious. Mind the fact that Randovania's logic is very well done and creates seeds that are solvable. Avoiding situations like this is part of knowing the game. As I said, softlocks will never go away. That's just how the game is built. So let me remind you of the fact that Metroid Dread itself has features that can be used to get out of softlocks. First, load last checkpoint. The game autosaves at certain points. For example, when you enter an enemy zone, the game creates a checkpoint just before you entered it. That can be used to get out of softlocks. Second, load last save point. Reloading to a save point would put you back at the last save station you saved at. This can help to get out of softlocks very often. For example, doing Corpius early can lead to situations where after beating him and not getting a good item from him, you are trapped and can't go back anymore. Loading a checkpoint wouldn't help since the game saves after beating him, but going back to your last save station gets you out of there. The golden rule to avoid softlocks is to save often. In earlier versions of Randovania, it was possible to destroy your save game by saving the game in a softlock area, where you thought it would be okay to save, but it actually wasn't. Luckily, this is not possible anymore. Randovania added the feature to teleport from every save station, that is, save stations, terminals, map terminals, back to the beginning of the game. So you ultimately have three options to get out of hairy situations, with the third one being teleporting back to the beginning via save stations. While I told you about the positives that the new Door Lock Randomizer brings, it has to be said that it's still early. Issues like crashes when using teleporters and during loading can happen at times. The devs work so much on this that it might as well be fixed or at least improved upon as of now. Earlier this year, I made a tutorial on how to download the latest dev build for Randovania. Since the Door Lock Rando is still early, the main release doesn't include it yet. It's necessary to get a dev build, but this has become easier, so let's go. You obviously need the game Metroid Dread and either a modded Switch or an emulator like Ryujinx. Dump your own game with tools such as NXDumpTool or SXDumper, for which you can find many tutorials on YouTube. Or do the thing we won't talk about here. It's still mandatory to extract the game to its romfs-folder. This can be done easily with Ryujinx. Second, enter the Randovania Discord. Go to the roles channel and react to the beta tester message to get the beta tester role. Now you are free to download the newest dev builds. This has become easier because you do not need a GitHub account anymore. You can download the dev build directly from the Discord channel. And then you just have to start Randovania and follow instructions to connect Randovania with your Discord account. The last thing you have to do is to create a game. All games come with presets you can just go with, but Randovania offers many options. So many options in fact that anyone can enjoy a randomized game. You don't need to know much of the game, though general knowledge does help a lot. But even if you don't know the game that much, Randovania offers features to help, such as maps, spoiler logs, and lists where it shows how the logic of the randomizer solves the game. Learning a few easy glitches or speedrun techs, such as soil wave or the water bomb jump, opens up the game a ton and makes it more enjoyable, so don't feel discouraged to learn those. Let's quickly summarize the pros and cons of the current state. On the pro side, we can definitely say that the Door Lock Rando creates many new ways to traverse the DR every seed, which can outright improve the game. It potentially fixes one of the softlock types by changing doors of rooms that could only be exited with a certain item from that very room. Randovania in general is highly customizable, so anyone from casual to pro can enjoy it. The logic ensures solvable seeds most of the time, so you don't have to retry that often, if at all. For the cons, it has to be said that they are working on issues improving Randovania every day, but Metroid Dread will crash when using teleporters or during loading sometimes. Generating a seed using Door Lock Rando also takes a huge chunk of time longer than without it, but the wait is worth it every time. So here we are. Buy yourself a copy of Metroid Dread and play it endlessly with this incredible randomizer after beating it. Don't be shy and help them by providing reports on crashes or bugs you find while playing. They are amazing people. It's also possible to help them by donating to their open collective for Randovania. This was Kendra. See you next time, probably in a few months when I get down to make another video. Oh my god.